Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Now today, I'm going to be try and basically updating my power rankings for the Overwatch League. Now, I did decide that I wasn't going to stream, just because I just can't be bothered half of the time. So I guess we'll start off, okay, let's just start off with this rank. It's like this rating here on screen. So the NA and Apac, and then we'll go to the overall one later. Okay, so I'm going basically gonna be reviewing all these teams, like basically just giving like a summary of them one by one. So I guess we'll just start with the shock, and I don't know why they haven't. Okay, there's a shock. Um, there it is. Um, well they're already great, so I don't really know what else to say. I think they are going to be the best team in NA. So I'm not going to have any. So I'm not going to do any change to shock. Next up, it is the Florida Mayhem that I have second place, and the more I look at this, the more I feel more comfortable with this team. Just because, like, I believe all these players are going to be world class, and they're probably going to surprise me and fucking beat the shock to get for the title. I think Florida is definitely a title contender for NA, and also maybe for the whole, like for the whole standings as well. Like they look super good. Like, BQB has definitely proved himself as a very competent hit scan player. You already know how great Yaki can be. I'm very excited to see how Checkmate goes. I'm just a little bit worried for OGE. That's like the only person I'm a little bit worried about, because OGE is he can be a little bit inconsistent half the time, especially on I think mainly on Dallas, when he was like an absolute god or something, like in the Dallas homestand, and then when the homestand finished, he just kind of dropped down. So yeah, I just hope that OG definitely does well here, and like maybe like also Kuki can also help him, because he was obviously formerly a main tank, so he can definitely help him. Um, and obviously it is now a full Korean roster, so I think OG will definitely feel more comfortable in a full Korean roster other than just being in a mixed Western roster. So I'm going to keep Florida there. The Gladiators. I still feel comfortable with the Gladiators. I think we saw them like in two tournaments, in the Valiant and the Still series. They won both of them. I think they won both of them, didn't they? I think they did. Yeah, but I'm excited to see how well they go. Um, like I'm excited to see Muse. You know how well he's gonna play. Skewered as well. I kind of also want to see how Moth really directs his team, because he's mainly, I'm gonna say mainly the IGL, the in-game leader for this. Um, for this roster. Capsa, he's probably also gonna pop off like always. Miria, I think, is going to do really well. Birding, he's going to do amazing. Space is just going to be unbelievable, including Shu. The coach is also really good. DP Face. And Tai Jolly they got from Guangzhou. I'm I'm really excited to see this roster. So I will now. I'm gonna make one change to this. Is that and that is I'm actually gonna put Gladiators above Hangzhou. I don't think they're going to be better than Guangzhou. At least I think they're going to be close. Yeah, I have more faith in the Gladiators I do with Hangzhou, to be straightly honest. Just because this roster looks super stacked, especially in NA. So I will definitely also be keeping them third. Now this is where I may make some changes. It is the Atlanta and the Washington area. I think these two are very similar in teams. And this may also reflect change also in my power rankings, like my normal power rankings. So, okay, they need to update that. Sharp is out, but they haven't announced another coach yet. So sorry. So they got Edison. Pelican and Kai for DPS, and then you have Gator and Hawk in tank, and Iris and Masa for support. I still think they should have another tank, just in case if either Gator or Hawk kind of flops down. And I think the weakest is definitely also the tanks. The DPS are world class. The supports are also world class. I just don't know what coaches they're gonna get. That's all I really want to know. Hey, let me actually switch to Wikipedia. Just because I think that'll be a lot better. What am I doing? Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. So, just this. They still need another tank, but they haven't got another tank, which pisses me off a bit. If they just got, I don't know, if they got Popo, that would be great. If they kept Popo, I think they'll be really good, and I would then definitely say, okay, they are definitely in front of Washington. But they're like similar in my eyes, like Atlanta and Washington, they're both very similar. I think those two teams have great potential to do really well. But I just more look at, I'm like, okay, well, who's the best out of them? Like, but because both these teams have basically one massive flaw. For Atlanta, it is the tanks. For Washington, for my opinion, it is the supports, because the tanks and DPSs are already world class. The supports is what I'm more worried about. If they got another support, maybe, then yeah, go ahead. I'll definitely put Washington above them, but it's kind of like, where do I put them? Where do I put Washington and Atlanta in this power rankings? Because they're so similar in like levels of gameplay, players as well, and like the coaches. I feel like they're also very similar. I just don't know, because the tanks are amazing. The DPSs are obviously the best in this roster. It's just the supports which I'm more worried about, because I don't think Bebe or Closer are top talent, or even talent like who can keep up with this roster. That's basically also the same for the Atlanta squad. I don't think Gator and Hawk are in the same level as the rest are in. So they're very similar, and they have very similar flaws as well. They just need one more role, or one more player for their respective role. Just like, what do we do here? Like, do I swap them around? Do I keep them the same? What do I do? Because I definitely think they are better than Dallas. I'll be honest. I definitely think they are better than Dallas. It's just like, what do I do? Like, what? How? What happens? So, yeah. So, I'm still gonna be thinking about Washington and Atlanta. Like, see how similar they are. I'll probably keep them the same, but yeah. Next up, the Dallas Fuel. I still think they are going to do mediocre. I'll be honest, it may piss people off, but I definitely think they're going to be a bit mediocre this time, in this year. And don't get me wrong, they have some top players, and all of these are from, and mostly, well, actually, all of them except for one are from Element Mystic. But also with like the management and like basically the organization itself, I just don't think they're gonna. I think they are gonna do well. I think they're definitely gonna do better. It's just like, because of how much the NA region has just upgraded themselves. Like, if you look here, Shock, amazing. Florida, amazing. Gladiators, amazing. Right? I think the closest rivals are Toronto, Washington, and Atlanta. I do not think they're going to be in the top 3. However, they are. I think here I put them 6th place. Yeah, 6th place. They're definitely mid-pack. Are they going to be better than last season? Yes, definitely. It's just like, these teams I think are better than Dallas, And Toronto, they're very, very close. Even though I still don't know why they have Logics and Beast there. But yeah, I just think they're going to do well. That's all. That's all I can really say. It's just that I think there are better teams, better players than them in other teams, and it's just like I just want to really watch them in the Gladiators match, which is second after the Houston one, which is gonna be just a walk in the park. If they lose to Houston, I really need to reconsider Dallas. I really do. I really need to reconsider them. They've had so much time to practice. They basically won against Seoul Dynasty in the tournament in the Nexus tournament. Yes, it was like at the very last moment, like 3-2. Yes, but it doesn't really matter. But it also kind of does worry me that I thought Shanghai and Seoul were going to be the top two teams. It definitely worries me that they lost to Guangzhou Charge, but then they won against Seoul Dynasty. A bit inconsistency there for Seoul, I'll be honest. But and maybe also possibly for Dallas, but I'm gonna keep Dallas there and also in 11th place in my rankings. Toronto, I'm gonna keep them in that spot as well. We'll just review them a bit. Then now they still haven't made any changes, which still pisses me off. I don't know why they have beats and logics. Still, it confuses me. Oh, I'm just yeah. I just don't know what to think about them. Like, I think how am I supposed to word this? I think they're definitely great players. I just think also that some of them may be a little bit inconsistent. And just like I said with the Dallas team, I think there are definitely better teams than them. Yes, they have some great pieces. I think Nice, Aztec, and Asunajay, they're all going to be top level players, but they're just they're just better teams and better players than them. I'll be honest. So that's like the mid pack, I guess. So Toronto, Dallas, Washington, and Atlanta. I'm gonna say. We're going to now move down to the bottom half. We're gonna start off with Boston. If I find them, there we go. This looks like a very a very better Boston Uprising roster. I still have them 15th place, and I will keep them 15th place. Otherwise, I'll probably move them up above the Chengdu Hunters. But regardless, Boston does look really, really good. They do look better than last season, definitely. Like obviously with the addition of Soon, Valentine, Faith, and they got Punk Sand One. I think I think they're gonna do well. Obviously, they still have some mediocre players like Fusions and Color Hex. Well, we'll just ignore that. And maybe I'm 37, but he's definitely better now. But and also with Mmonk surrounded by top all-star players, then this team this team looks really, really, really good. They definitely improved. The amount of players that they got here definitely improved. I'll be straightly honest. So I will keep Boston there. The next one I have is the London Spitfire. Now they haven't made any changes. Now I think most of these teams have like finalized their roster and they won't be making any more changes unless there's changes. I know one team has made a change. I know that, so I'll be talking about that and see if that actually affects them. London still looks mediocre. I'm not really expecting a lot from them. Yes, they practically almost beat, who was it, the Gladiators? Was it the Gladiators or was it Boston? Okay, yeah, so they almost beat the Gladiators, which I do give them credit for. They almost beat the Gladiators, I give them credit for that. And Paris almost beat the Boston. And obviously I expected more from London, so from Gladiators, I think London and Boston, they're going to be very, very close. Like, they maybe reach a ceiling of maybe mid-pack teams. I'll be strictly honest. I think they may be maybe mid-pack team, but I'm going to keep them, I think that's ninth place. Yeah, it is ninth place, Leah. Yeah. I'll keep them ninth place. But yeah, London does look good, but hey, they may fall off. They may like choke at some point. And maybe like Shax and Blase pop off. Maybe Rip and Calyx pop off. Haiti, Mulfig. I think Haiti did pretty well in the tournament. So yeah, and then like when Sparker comes on age. Oh damn, that's gonna be good. I think next up is the Houston Outlaws. Another year, another shitty year for Houston. Don't get me wrong, I think they do have some great talent. I do think Dante Hydration is one of them. KSF. Um, possibly also Crimzo. What I'm more concerned about is can Piggy and Junggu do well? Because they came from so they came from Talent Esports. And Talent Esports, I think back when they were competing, so they were competing in Korea, but they were also competing in Pacific, right? Pacific and Oceania and like Australia, they're like the weakest. Yes, they came third through fourth in Korea. But let's just see how well they went. They came fourth. And yes, there were like some pretty shit teams below them. But the best teams were O2, Genji, and Element Mystic, right? I would be very, very surprised if they lost a T1, but they didn't. Anyway, I don't think they even played T1. So they just lost to O2, I think. Yeah. So they just lost to O2 straight away. And then they won against Gen A, but then they lost to Gen G. So I don't know how well Piggy and Junggu they're going to go. Obviously, they will still have that synergy, but they don't really have the experience of really competing in a Western team. So it may take some time for them to do well. But yeah, I mean they do have Junkbok, so maybe Junkbok can do really, really well. They can help them, including with Happy. I think Happy's a great player. Obviously, he has played with an American and a British, well, in Guangzhou with Kib and Nero, so he may have some experience, but I just don't know what they're going to use Happy for. Like, they already have KSF, they already, like, have Dante. I just don't know what they want to do with them. And Juby is the most confusing one out of all of them. Like, why would you pick up Juby? Yes, I get it. I think he was, like, something from Envision Esports in Tier 2. But, I'm like, okay, but does he really have the play? Well, hang on, how am I? Does he really have the ability to basically be in Overwatch League, like in Overwatch League level? Does he really have that level? I don't know. We just have to wait and see. He does come in age in April 4th, which is before Overwatch League starts, which is good for them. So, yeah. I will keep piecing down there. Now, these two teams are very, very similar. I'll be really honest. So let's first talk about Vancouver. What the fuck is this roster? This roster does not look good. I'll be straightly honest. They don't look good at all. I'm just confused on what they're trying to accomplish here. Like, what is this roster? Like, yes, they have Linkser. Yes, they have Fire and Fried Wiener. But just it pisses me off sometimes what they're trying to accomplish here. Like, why do they have another Korean? Why do they have someone who's never been a part of an NA roster? Like, why? couldn't they just get like another DPS player? I don't know, like trying to like think of something. Like, couldn't they like, maybe get maybe get like OJ or something? Like they could like there are many other players that you could have gotten that could replace could that you could just get Terror. There's more. Okay, there's more players who could have gotten, but alright. If they want to do that, then they can do that. But yeah, I will keep Vancouver down there. And lastly, Paris. Just this Russ, like, like I like. I'm just trying to think what they want to do here. Like, tell me like, what role is the strongest in here? Tell me. You can say the DPSs, but I think they'll be mediocre as hell, including with Suna and Naga. I think they're going to be very mediocre. Support. I guess you could say maybe Neptuno's going to do really well, but what about Khan? Is he going to do well? Is he going to pop off? I don't know. What about the tanks? Maybe the tanks is possibly the best. Dawn and Ellie vote, maybe, but I feel like there's going to be a little bit inconsistency and mediocre there as well. This team is just screaming mediocre to me. And inconsistency. It's not just because of the European talent, okay? I'm not saying it's the European talent. I'm just saying that the NA region is much more competitive than it's ever been. And all of the best European talent are in other teams. I'll be straightly honest. Like, possibly the best here is like maybe Neptuno and maybe Onigod as well. But that's all I really know. Like, I don't know what else to really say. Just, I feel like it's a little mediocre. That's all I can really say. But then move on to Apac, and Apac is going to be almost straightforward, I'm going to say. Where is Shanghai? So Shanghai, they're going to be first. Let's just stick with that. They're going to be first. Flutter, Lip, Ursa, DM. That's like one of the scariest CPS lineups I've ever seen. Support is Yakulisha, Gong Molly. They have some great support players as well, and then Void and Fate. It's definitely an upgrade main tank. I'll grab main Fate from Florida. And I think he definitely wants to work with Coach Moon again and be in a full Korean roster. So look out for this team. This team actually may be a contender for winning the whole thing. If they don't win APAC and Seoul Dynasty wins APAC, then Shanghai may struggle. Like they won. Okay, so we cast somebody's back to the Nets to this tournament. They lost first to Seoul Dynasty in a 1-3 fashion, but then they dominated in 4-1 fashion. That basically means that Shanghai is possibly the greatest team in APAC. Yes, it's a fucking tournament that no one really cares about. I get it, but it's like another. It's like a showing of how well they're gonna go, right? So I have a lot of praise in Shanghai. I think they're going to do really well. And I know one of my friends is gonna be smirking, but I have a lot of faith in this roster. They're going to do really well. So yeah, keep it in first place. Next up, Seoul Dynasty. What am I doing? I could just scroll down. Seoul Dynasty. I feel like Seoul is like the only team that can compete with Shanghai. They're like almost in the same level with talent. Just one flaw with Seoul is the off tank of Tuyu. I don't know how good he is. Obviously, I think I watched 2 games of him. I feel like he was fairly average compared to everyone else in the team. I'll be strictly honest, oh god. They want to keep doing the full the main tanks only Marvel gesture comp, and that's gonna be kind of weird. I'll feel very bad for 2U, and I'll just ask myself, why do you even need an off tank in the first place? But I'm just a bit worried for 2U. Although for the rest of the team, it looks good. DPS fits prophecy, BLB like scary as hell. Definitely contender for against Shanghai. Um, support creative and Anamo, great players. I think creative is definitely gonna step it up, um, this season. And I should say picking up Sabiorbi and Anamo, possibly the biggest win in the off season. Obviously, yes, there's been other massive wins like FD God going to Shock and um, Moth going to Gladiators. Well, actually, Shu and Moth going to Gladiators. But this is definitely a contender for basically the win, like the biggest win, because these two teams, like these two players, Anamo and Sabiorbi, they are really good in their respective roles. And obviously with Gesture now as the IGL, I call it IGL because it's just easier to really say other than team captain. Even though I think it says IGL here. Never mind, it just says captain, whatever. But I think they're definitely gonna do better. Maybe definitely an upgrade from last season. Just want to say, definitely, yeah, possibly an upgrade from last season. So I'll be keeping Salt Dynasty there. Now we go to the mid packs, and the mid pack in Apac is very hard to judge. Guangzhou, Eileen Kali Choisewan, Kareev Mandu, Rio Krong Jaihan. Just want to say this looks very solid. I think I'm just confused why you got Jaihan. Like maybe like I don't really understand that. He retired for like how long did he retire for till he joined back? I don't really know. He retired in clan math and basically like um say 4 or 3 months. Then he came back to then compete with Guangzhou. I guess, yeah, but it's a bit weird in my opinion. But they may keep going their upwards trajectory. You know, I think they're going to do really well this season. Also they have, I think Mandu, he's definitely going to prove himself this time as I feel like he didn't really prove himself a lot in New York because Anama was there. He's too good. Prong, we already saw how great he was. I'm very excited to see how well Cali goes. Like, I don't know what lineup they ran in the Nexus Cup, but I can imagine that they probably ran, I think, Eileen and Cali, or maybe Cali and Choice Their One, because I saw on Twitter teams were praising how well Cali was going, but I'm really excited to see how well he goes. Really excited. Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, in the Shanghai Masters, I'm really excited to see how well they go. And then next up is Hangzhou, and there may be a swap for Hangzhou and Philly. Don't get me wrong. Oh. This roster looks super good. And having like, I think they're gonna have like, I think they're gonna have like the similar thing where they're gonna have an A team and a B team. If they don't, then that's good though. They can swap people around and all that. I'm just worried about like, who the hell they're gonna play. Like, I guess, well, Takoyaki, he's gonna be around April, like, it's around April 18th. So I think when their first match is up. Philly against Hangzhou, okay. So, maybe. Um, but, just, what do they want, like, who are they gonna play? Because there are 12 people in this roster. I just don't know who they're gonna like. They're probably gonna be fighting a lot for playtime, obviously, and they have two. Um, they obviously have two. What's the word I'm trying to look for? They have two players for each roster for each role. For projectile, they have, I guess you could say, Godsby and Serum and Sue. Physican, they have Architect and Shy. Actually, no, never mind. Architect, Serum and Sue, projectile, Shy, and Godsby are hit scan. Sorry about that. Main support, you have IDK and MCD. Or is it IDK and Mika? Wait, shit. Hang on, what does MCD play? Flex support, okay. So you have like IDK and Mika, you have for main support. For flex support, you have Colders and MCD. For main tank, we have Gushwei and Leggy. I think it's pronounced Leggy, I don't actually know. And for off tank, you have sorry, it's Gushwei and Takoyaki and for main tank, and then for off tank we have Leggy and Bernard. Like who are they gonna play? Like I guess it's gonna be like different. I guess each player they're going to maybe have a special like a special like a speciality maybe. I don't really know that, but yeah, just it's very confusing what they want to do here. Now this is why I kind of want to change Hangzhou and Philly. It's because recently they actually got Rascal. They got Rascal, I think, for EQO. Um, and oh damn, this definitely buffers the DPS lineup for Philly. I think they are definitely gonna be close to them. What I put Philly? I put Philly 7th, so 8th. Hangzhou 7th. Okay. I'm gonna no, not New York. I'm gonna fuck it out. I will put Philly up here. However, I think they are gonna be almost the exact same level. Hangzhou and Philly. Maybe like New York, maybe like an underdog. I'll be honest. Um, in Apac, I think they're definitely gonna be underdogs, but yeah. So I will keep. So basically, that was the reason I'm gonna put Philly in 7th and Hangzhou in 8th. So Hangzhou basically loses 2 spots. Um, so yeah, Fusion. I think they're definitely gonna do really well. Um, also now with Rascal, they also have um Carpe, Alarm, Mana as well. Oh, that's gonna be scary. Funny Astro. Even though I think Funny Astro and EQ they're having some visa issues, so that's gonna be great. And I think Poker and Shockwave they're already at Korea, which is great to hear. So, oh, that's gonna be a spicy team to watch this season. Now their first match is up against the Seoul Dynasty. So I guess we can see how well they are compared in the top 2 teams. Next up is the New York Excelsior. I feel like I've been a little bit harsh on them, I'll be honest. um, I think the scrim against Guangzhou was released. It wasn't like a leak, it was actually just like a stream that people could watch and review. People have been praising New York, I think especially Guangbong, sorry. Well, Guangbong, I don't actually know. People have been praising them, including I think like Flora and Feather, but mainly Guangbong. Um, I maybe look. Here's the thing. Like New York, yes, they have definitely they've definitely went a step back compared to last season. I'll be honest. New York has definitely had a step back from last season, but this team looks pretty good. I'm just very so DPS looks good. Jonak is obviously going to pop off. Friday, Yakpung, Bianca, I just don't know about those 3. That's what I'm very worried about. I think the DPSs are fine. I think Jonak's fine, obviously. Something about Friday, Yakpung, and Bianca, I just don't have a lot of faith in them. Probably because, we are, for Yakpung especially, we already watched Yakpung, and he did pretty shit. I'm gonna say he only had, 1 good game, and that was about it. Bianca, he didn't get a lot of playtime. I think it was a bit average for New York. And Friday, I have no fucking clue, but I just feel like he's just not on the same level as everyone else's. Yes, I think he was one of the key opponents for Oz Gaming's success, but I don't know if he's really in New York Excelsior. I'm just yeah, that's really about it. and just the coaches. I don't understand why you have why not and Squix, but yeah, if they want to do that, then they can do that. So I would be keeping New York there. Next up, the Chengdu Hunters. I'll definitely be keeping them where they are. Um, they do have the 11-man squad, and my lord, what is this heap of mess? I just I don't know what they want to like. What is like? What are they trying to accomplish here? What are they trying to accomplish here in this roster? Right? You have Evatol, who I don't know. Like I get it because is it 1987 who's the main support? Let me have a look. It's on my phone, so I can have a look easily. But I think it's 1987 who's the main support. Why? Because I think Evatol was definitely a key component to Chengdu's success from season 2. They kept Evatol and not put him into a two-way contract. Oh, sorry, it was actually Nisha. Sorry about that. So if they kept Evatol to not even a two-way contract, then Chengdu could have done well again. Because I think Evatol's leadership helped Chengdu, but that's alright. Obviously, they still have the class support, the class DPSs of Leave and Jinmu, um, Jimmy and Kaneki. I'm very interesting. I'm very interested on how well they're gonna go. I think also supports to the support Nisha in 1987. I think Nisha was formerly Illusion, wasn't he? Let me have a look. Yeah, Illusion. Yeah, he was formerly known as Illusion. People have been praising Illusion as well. Very interested to see how well 1987 goes. I don't. I'm just very confused on how that he's really integrated into his roster. Well, he is the only flex support, so. But yeah, tanks also like Young, Aemon, Gagai, Gage. I think it's Gage. Um, I guess. Like, yeah, I guess Gage is gonna be mainly the main tank, and then Elsa's gonna be there as well. I just feel really bad for Yveltal Light Young because I think those two players were a core part of Chengdu, and now they've just been basically been told to fuck off, gone um to two-way. It's pretty sad, but it is the Overwatch League. It's very hard to have a good to have success there. Oh god, lastly the LA Valiant. Look at this hump of mess. Now I just want to talk about Valiant for a second, mainly for the rest of the video. I am very skeptical on how well they're gonna go. Why? Because this team, I think in my opinion, they are going to be very, very shit. I already said in my video, they are going to be the next Shanghai Dragons Season 1. And it shows. They basically have the ingredients of going shit. They have Crystal, who I think is a great player, but is terrible PR. Like, just his reputation has been fucking booted after what happened with Hangzhou. If you don't know, I'll have a quick summary. I didn't make a video on this, but I'll have a quick summary. Hangzhou, so Crystal, so this was when he was still in Hangzhou, this is season 2. Crystal basically told Hangzhou, I'm going to go back to China because my mum is sick, so my mum is sick. Makes sense, yeah? Having your mother sick is a terrible thing. And obviously you want to be by her side. He fucking lied to his team because going to see his sick mother because he was actually going to China to see his girlfriend. And then he just fucking ignored all the calls from Hangzhou. Hangzhou tried to get to him. He felt like nothing came to from Hangzhou. So you're just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm done. He was practically done with Overwatch League. So yeah, it's not great. Mulan ran, yeah, I think it's gonna be fine. Tank Silver 3 Show Cheng, yeah. Nevermore. Apparently that's what NBA means, nevermore. I don't. Okay, if you don't know, he's been retired since 20 fucking 18. 2018. I know you can't. Hang on. I'll try and 2018. 2018 to 2020, he was retired. I know you can't see the retired, but 2018, 28th of December, he's now back in Overwatch in 2021, March 18th. Why? Just why? I don't think he's gonna get no play time at all. So I don't know why you would get him. I don't understand why he's in this roster. I don't even know why he's back. Probably just as a filler, but yeah. And the next obstacle is another another cookie situation. If you don't know what I mean about the cookie situation, when he was in Valiant for Season 2, now just remember when I said about Florida, he's a main tank, right? Koji Moon, for some reason, decided to put him in main support. This is basically what has happened now. Hybe, who was an off tank, is in flex support. He's never played this. He's never ever played this role. I legit went to his Wikipedia. He plays. I'm gonna get rid of this. Diva, Zarya, and Sigma. I don't think those three are supports. I don't think they're flex supports. I think there are tanks. There are off tanks actually. Why do you think in his common team roles he is a tank, not a flex support, not even a support player? I think his ID definitely describes him very well. He's unhappy. I know you can't see the Y in the double P, but it says unhappy. And if you want me to prove it, I'll fucking prove it. Unhappy. Unhappy. I just don't understand this roster. I'm just like, well, why did a Valiant have to release the whole roster? They said fuck you to the roster. I don't know. Why? They're just dumb. Yeah? You want, they're just dumb. They're stupid. Whatever. Yeah, that's it. I'm done with this. So, that's it for me now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch you guys on next time in the next one. Goodbye.